Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be testing new makeup, doing a get ready with me, sharing with you some new makeup products that I have picked up recently. And I have used most of these products, so I can already give you mini reviews on some of the things. And then I'm going to do a wear test. So we're going to see how everything wears because I am using a new foundation today. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this, and the foundation that I'm going to be using is the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. So I was telling you guys that I've been wanting to test this out, but I was having like a really hard time finding this anywhere, or at least my shade. So I ended up getting shade 3, and this is the perfect shade for me. So, and it comes with like a little cap that you're supposed to keep on here. This will keep it from drying out. So, and then it just rolls up, and this is what the shade looks like there. So, and I've really been enjoying this week. Like, I've used it a few times. It has really good coverage, honestly, for it just being like a tint. But I do like to apply kind of a lot of it to get like a medium coverage, but you know, you could apply it lighter. But I did already do my skincare off camera, so that's just been seeping in. So I kind of like to start in sections, and I have discovered that for me, I like the way this applies best with a sponge. I find that when I use a brush with this, it has a tendency to really thin it out a little bit too much and like sink down into my pores, where I feel like when I press it in with a sponge, it just sits a lot nicer on the skin and has a bit more coverage. So I'm going to put this on one side of my face, and then we'll compare to the other so you can see the difference. It also does build really well. It is kind of awkward though, using it like around the nose area. Okay, so here's the side with the stick foundation. It's kind of early in the morning, so I feel like my voice is a little bit cracky. So it has a nice kind of semi-matte finish to it. Just gonna go ahead and put this on this side. Okay, so that's what the foundation looks like all blended out. So just like a nice skin finish. And then I'm just going to be using the Rimmel Multitasker Concealer. This is not new. You guys know how much I've been enjoying this. So I'm just going to put this on the under eyes and also like in places where I want a little bit more coverage. Okay, and then before I set my foundation and concealer with powder, I am going to use my bronzer, which this is going to be more of like a contour than a bronzer because it is very cool toned. This is one of the E.L.F. Camo Bronzer and Contours, and I finally picked up the lightest shade in this. Like, this is just in fair. I have fair light and also light, so just to kind of show you like the difference on the colors here. So up here you have fair, then fair light, then light. So I was just really curious to see how this one was going to work, because honestly I thought that fair light might be a little bit too cool toned, but it wasn't. So I was really curious to try out just fair for like contouring, and I have really been enjoying this week. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this. Just kind of like the same place where I would put a bronzer, honestly. But I have been getting more into like contouring again. Like at least just like light contouring. And I'm just using that brush that I use all the time from that Amazon brush set that I talk about here on my channel. This works so well with these cream or with these liquid bronzer contour type products. So I just start out with a little bit at first, and then if I need to add a little bit more of this, then I'll go in and add a little bit more. But see, I just think that that is such a nice contour color. Like, it doesn't look too ashy. It's just a really nice color. So I think E.L.F. did such a great job on these camo bronzer contours. I really like all the shades that I've picked up for different like reasons, you know, like this one's good for if you want a more contoured look. The light one is good if you want something more bronzy. And then that fair light one is just good when you want kind of like a mix of the two. They wear really well throughout the day. They blend out beautifully. So I'm such a fan of these. I mean, I like their camo blushes, but to be honest, I think I enjoy these bronzer contours more than the blushes. Just because sometimes with the blushes, they can be so intense that if you're not super skilled with these liquid, like with the liquid blushes, it can just be overwhelming. So most of the times with the blushes, I will just apply those like to the back of my hand and then stipple it on the face, just because the blushes can be a bit intense sometimes. But definitely with these products, less is more. And then it's easier to build if you need to. So just start out with a little bit and slowly build it up. But see, I just think that looks so natural on me, not like too overdone. I know like sometimes when I do my bronzers, it can be almost too intense for me, especially this time of the year when I don't have much sun on my face. So I just think that this shade is gorgeous. So let me know, like, what do you think? Do you like this shade on me, or do you prefer some of the other ones that I've used? Let me know in the comments. Or let me know if you've used these bronzer contours from E.L.F. Like, do you like them? Like, what are your thoughts on them? And speaking of E.L.F., another E.L.F. product that I got is their Halo Glow Pressed Powder. And I did pick up the shade Fair Warm, which I'm kind of wishing I would have gotten a more neutral shade. But honestly, like the color doesn't show up too much on the skin if you just apply it lightly. So that's the way I prefer to apply this, like, is to take like a large powder brush. This is just the E.L.F. large powder brush. And I just stamp it in there. I basically apply this the same way that I would apply that Morphe Cloud Lights powder. But I think if I had to pick between those two, between the Morphe and this one, I think I still prefer the Morphe over this one. But this is still nice. Like, it does create like a nice soft diffused glow on the skin. And this shade does kind of warm up my complexion just ever so slightly, since it is like a warmer shade. And I was hearing mixed reviews on this. A lot of people, I don't know, they kind of weren't liking it, but I think the reason why people don't like it is because they're applying it to, like, you know, with a powder poof or something, like really pressing it into the skin. And I think that this powder applies best if you use it with more of like a bigger, fluffier type of brush. But that is the Halo Glow on the skin. I think it looks really pretty. Like, now that I'm seeing it again, I'm like, I like it just as much as that Morphe powder. This is the Morphe powder that I'm talking about. Their Cloud Lights Soft Glow Veil in Dawn. So, yeah, I think this is really pretty. I need to use this a little bit more. Like, I've used this a couple of times, but not as much as the Morphe. And then I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Loose Setting Powder just to kind of set my under eyes and like the T-zone so I'm not too overly shiny. And I know that this Wet n Wild powder isn't new, but just need to kind of mattify my T-zone. I'm just going to moisturize my lips with my Vaseline Rosy Lips until I do like my lip, like use my lip product today just so I can hydrate my lips. Okay, for the brows, I was talking to you guys about this. This is the L'Oreal Faux Brow. It has like this very interesting tip on it. And it's just one of those brow pen type of products. So first I'm going to go in with my brow gel. I'm just using the Maybelline Super Lock. Whenever I use these brow pens, I like to first go in with the gel just to get my brow hairs brushed up into the direction that I would like them to be. And then I can just go in and fill in any gaps with the pen. And I will say that like with this pen, I'm not super thrilled with it. And it's honestly like the reason why I thought that this would kind of be an awkward pen. Like it's just weird how it's gapped like that. It just makes it hard to fill in your brows in a precise kind of manner. So you see what I'm saying? Like it's just so hard to like do that. So I do kind of feel like this pen is a bit gimmicky. I don't know. Maybe if you had really thick brows, like I like to try to turn it to the side to get like a little bit more precise on the application with it. And I do find that that helps a little bit more. But I definitely prefer my Maybelline Build-A-Brow over this one. But maybe I just haven't used this one enough to get a good experience with how to use it. I think like with the pen being like a little bit more spaced out, it kind of helps to create a bit more like natural sort of brow strokes, you know, because it is slightly a little bit more random. I accidentally got that up a little bit too high. We're going to have really fluffed up brows today. So I don't know. It's like I'm on the fence with this. I can't really decide if I like it or not. And like I said, I do kind of feel like the two-pronged thing is a bit gimmicky. But maybe it's just because I haven't mastered how to use this yet. And I'm just used to my Maybelline one. But I guess like in the end, it doesn't look bad, right? I don't know. Maybe I need to use it a little bit more. I mean, I will say that it lasts well. And maybe by the end of next month, it'll be in like my monthly favorites. Who knows? Maybe once I master how to use it. And I cannot remember the exact shade I picked up of this, but it's either black or black brown. I usually get whatever the darkest shade is, just because I just find that it looks really natural with like my hair color that I have. But if you're ever curious about like what the shades are of the products that I'm using, if I don't mention it in the video, I will have it listed down in the description box, so be sure to check that out. So now we're gonna move on to the blush, and I picked up this new blush product from Revolution, which, okay, did Makeup Revolution, because there was like Makeup Revolution, and then there's that Relove Revolution at Walmart. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's kind of like another spinoff. It's like, is Revolution different from Makeup Revolution, or did they just drop the makeup part? I don't know if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, but yeah. Maybe Revolution, maybe Makeup Revolution is like a spinoff of this. I don't know. Anyway, I saw these on Ulta and I thought that they were really interesting. Like they kind of look like, at least this top part kind of reminds me of like the Patrick Ta blushes, like how it's got like the cream up here with the little thing that protects the cream from getting powder in there, and then you've got this really beautiful highlight. And this highlight reminds me of the highlight that I love from Wet n Wild called Bloom Time. It's like that same golden peachy kind of color. I'll just swatch these on the back of my hand real quick so you can see. And I haven't used the cream in this yet. Probably should have done the cream earlier before I did my powder, but we'll use it today for the sake of the video. So there's like the cream. There's like the cream, the blush, and the highlight there. So really pretty. And like I told you guys, I have been into like these peachy shades for spring. For the cream, I think I'm just going to use like this flat top angled brush from that Amazon brush set that I use all the time. And I've never used the cream, so I don't know like how intense or whatever this is going to be. But I have used just the powder blush and the highlight, and I really like both of those. I think this is a beautiful product. I feel like they didn't have like a ton of different shades in this. I don't know if like on Revolution, like on their website, if they have more shades and maybe like Ulta is just not selling a ton. Like I want to say there was only like 2 other shades. Like now I want to look it up and see because I'm not for sure. Okay, yeah, they have like 3 other ones besides this. So I didn't even say the name of this one, but this is in Authentic Peach. They have a rosy palette, a hot pink one, and like a cherry kind of berry palette. So, but yeah, this peachy one, the Authentic Peach, is really pretty. So I'm just using the Sigma F40. It's like, honestly, I could have just gotten away with just using the cream. But as you can see, it's like a very intense peachy. And also just the powder blush in this is completely matte. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the highlights. And I'm just using the Morphe 164 brush. And I will say that this highlight is pretty intense, so you don't need a ton. And it is like a really highlighted color. But this is so similar to that Wet n Wild highlight. I'll have to compare them here in a second. But this is such a pretty like blush color in highlight. Really beautiful. I do really like this, and I really like the packaging on this. Like the packaging is really nice. So this is the Wet n Wild highlight that I was talking about in Bloom Time. So let's swatch these two next to each other. Okay, yeah, the Makeup Revolution one does have a bit more color, like peachiness to it than the Wet n Wild one, but like the undertone is very similar. So this is the Makeup Revolution one. This is the Wet n Wild one. I don't know how similar they look on camera. Let's see if I hold it down here, you can see it better. But in person, that golden undertone in it is very similar. Okay, and whenever I was looking at the blush palette, I was just looking to see what other things Revolution had, and I saw that they had these little eye palettes, which also kind of reminded me of like the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palettes. And I don't think that this is super new. This is in the color The True Icon, but I just thought that this was so pretty, and I haven't seen anybody talk about this, so I wanted to get this and test it out. And I've only used it one time, so I don't have like a full-on review of this eyeshadow palette, but the day that I used it, I really liked it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids, and this has some nice like berry and warm tone shades, which I've been into, so I just thought that this palette was really pretty. But have you guys used anything from Revolution? Let me know like what's good, maybe what else I should get and test out. First, I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade and kind of put that all in like my crease area. I'm just gonna use this Profusion makeup brush. This is the ES2. I recently picked up these Profusion eyeshadow brushes. Like Emily Noel raves about this eyeshadow brush set. It comes with like 3 different brushes. So I wanted to pick it up because I always love how her eyeshadow looks. Like, I always love how her eyeshadow looks turn out. And I love like the other Profusion eyeshadow brushes that I have, like from their large eyeshadow palettes. Like, they used to sell, like they used to come with like a dual-ended brush, and I loved those brushes that came in those palettes. So, but it has been forever since I've used Profusion eyeshadows, and I know that Profusion is still around, still makes palettes and things like that. So I need to get back into using some of their stuff. But so next I'm going to go in with this color. Just kind of blending that sort of in the same area. And I'll probably go back with a little bit more of that first shade and just kind of blend. I just want the crease to look really blended today. I feel like a lot of my makeup looks recently, I'm gonna get my tweezers, have been kind of similar. So I need to start doing some different eyeshadow looks, but just kind of the colors I've been into recently. I don't think I want to make like my outer V very dark with this palette. I'm just going to keep it very light and a little bit more natural. So on the lid, I'm going to use the shade here. I'm trying to figure out what I want to use. I might actually use a little makeup sponge to apply this shadow. This is definitely like a color that probably applies best with like your finger. But it's really pretty, has a lot of little like micro shimmers in it. Like the eyeshadow itself is kind of like a little bit chunky, so I could see where you might want to use like glitter glue on your eyelid before applying this, because it probably has a tendency to have a little bit of glitter fall out. But yeah, that shadow is really beautiful, very sparkly. I might try to see how it applies with my finger. Yeah, it definitely applies a lot more intense with the finger. Almost gives it more of like a foiled effect when you use your finger with it than with like a eyeshadow sponge. I was just trying to move this plastic thing out of the way and it just dug right into that one color. Okay. I kind of wish this had one of those little flappy things like the blush palette. That would have been better than this plastic. It's just kind of hard to move out of the way. I might try to see if I can use this brown as my eyeliner. So I'm just trying to find an eyeliner brush. Okay, I'm going to use this Sigma E65. And I think I'm just going to kind of do just a simple liner. But yeah, that goes on super easy. Might do just like a slight wing with it. This almost feels more like lipstick than liner. So I don't know. Maybe this is supposed to be like a lip product. And I'm using it on my eyes. Because I just feel like that's not going to last very long. I might need to put like a powder on top of it. So let's get it lined first, and then I'll go in with that darkest powder to kind of set it. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the darkest color in this palette and set this cream. I am going to kind of deepen up the crease a little bit more, so I'm going to go in with this shade. Okay, so I'm not 100% for sure if I'm into the liner today, but I do like the eyeshadow part. And I do think that that glitter is really pretty, really shimmery. Okay, and then I'm just gonna set everything with my Milani Make It Last. Okay, so I just went ahead and did my mascara off camera. I just used the Maybelline Lash Sensational. And then the last new product that I picked up is one of these CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Blurs. And I feel like a lot of makeup companies are doing like these lip blur type of products. So I'm going to take this lip conditioner off. And the shade that I picked up in this, I think it's Blur in Pink is the shade that I picked up. It's kind of hard to read it because it's like white on a light pink background. But it's just like a soft matte lip, and I find that it pairs nice with like the blush and like the eyeshadow palette. I don't really think that this product is revolutionary. Like, I think I kind of prefer the hard candy lip blurs over this, but I haven't really used this enough to know for sure. But it does feel like really comfortable on the lips. Like, I don't find it to be overly drying or anything. Like, it feels barely there. So we'll kind of just see how it holds up throughout the day today. I'll probably come back with my first check-in like around 5 hours or so. My plan is to do a 10-hour wear test today on everything. So it is like 9:33 right now. So I will see you guys later on today with like a check-in, and at the end of the video I'll do like a wrap up on everything, like letting you know like what I think is worth picking up to try out and what's you should pass on. So I will see you guys a little bit later today. Okay guys, I am back and it is 2:33 p.m. so it has been 5 hours since I first applied everything, and I was just taking a close look at makeup and everything right before filming, and the foundation is holding up pretty well. Like, as you can see, it's gotten like a little bit more glowy. It looks like more glowy on camera than it does in person. It's kind of worn off my mouth a little bit on my nose, but not bad at all. And like the eyeshadow, like I am getting a little bit of like glitter fallout on the face, so you definitely would want to use like a glitter glue primer with the eyeshadow. And the lip wore off after I had lunch, and I actually reapplied it, and as you can see it's already worn off again. So it's not a super long wearing lip product, so I do like it. Like, it feels nice on the lips. I mean, my lips are feeling a little bit dry now that it's worn off. Like, I need some moisture. So it's probably not like my favorite thing. Like, it's just an okay lip product. Like, it's not terrible, but it's just not long wearing. So if you're expecting it to be long wearing, it's not going to be that. But yeah, I think everything is looking good. So just to kind of show you everything. And my brows are looking really good. Like, I really like the way my brows look today. So I don't know, maybe I need to just use that pen a little bit more. But I will see you guys later this evening before bed with my final check-in and just kind of run down thoughts on everything. All right, guys, I'm back and it's 7:29 p.m. So it's been pretty close to 10 hours since I first applied everything. And yeah, just we're going to take one last look at the makeup. I'm going to turn the lights down just a little bit because I feel like they're a little bit bright. I mean, I feel like the foundation looks about the same as it did 5 hours ago. Like, it might have worn off just a little bit more around my nose. I was kind of trying on clothes. I was going through like my clothing collection and trying to put stuff up. Clothing collection, that just sounded so weird. My wardrobe or whatever, and I was putting up things that were for winter. I'm keeping out like a few sweaters because, you know, it's probably going to be a little bit cold because it's only March. But yeah, so I was doing that. So I was taking clothes off and stuff, and so some of the foundation did kind of rub off a little bit, but like overall I feel like it looks really good. Like, I like the finish of it. Like, I think it just looks really healthy on like your skin, and that match is like a really good shade match for me. The eyeshadow is looking really good. I haven't had a ton more fallout since earlier. So like I said, I feel like if you just use glitter glue, should be good to go. The eyeliner lasted well. I wasn't for sure how that was going to turn out. I feel like my brows look good. That blush is still on there. I feel like the contour still looks good. So I really like a lot of these new products that I picked up. So, and I know I'm kind of like on the fence about the faux brow from L'Oreal, but I really liked my brows today. So I definitely want to use this some more. And I will keep you guys updated on what I think about this. But like the foundation, I absolutely love this. Definitely think this is worth picking up, especially if you are like normal, slightly oily. Like if you're really dry, this might emphasize like dry patches, because like around my nose, like kind of right in here, it is slightly a little bit dry, and I do feel like it kind of clung a little bit to that area. Not real bad. But I feel like if you had super dry skin, this might not be the product for you. I think that the E.L.F. Camo Bronzer and Contour, I think this is a really pretty contour shade if you are on the fair side. So really like this. The E.L.F. Halo Glow Press Powder, I think that this just gave that stick foundation such a beautiful, healthy glow and finish. So I do like this. I don't know like if I have one that I prefer more over the other between this and the Morphe Cloud Light. So I'll have to keep using those two and see if I have like a preference, but I kind of like them equally at this point. And then the blush and the eyeshadow palette from Revolution Beauty, which I was looking that up later after I filmed the video, and I was asking you guys about like what happened, like is this like a different brand? But basically it looks like Makeup Revolution, or no, hold on. Yeah, Makeup Revolution changed their name to Revolution Beauty. But anyway, I think that both of these are really great. It makes me want to try out some of the other eyeshadow palettes that they have in this line, and also try out some of the other blushes. But I do think this is such a pretty like peachy, pinky kind of blush color. With the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Blur, this isn't a bad product, but it's just not long wearing. It does feel really nice on the lips, like it doesn't feel drying or anything. It just doesn't last super long, so it's kind of like a bullet matte lipstick. I am kind of curious to know if maybe like the darker, brighter type of shades would last a little bit longer. So I'm kind of thinking I might pick up the red one, just because I did like the way this felt and everything on the lips, and I'm curious to know if like a red one would last longer than this. But anyway, I guess this was like had a little bit more of a slip to the lip than like a regular matte bullet lipstick, where I feel like it really dries down on the lips. This had like a little bit more of a slip to it, but it did kind of dry down a little bit. But anyway, that is my overall thought on all these new products that I picked up. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. I hope that you guys have a great day, a great week, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.